we got there and I think like turning from the road and driving down the alley and seeing the small chateau getting bigger and bigger and bigger was a very, very special moment.
C'est beau chez vous?
Pas mal, hein?
Ouais.
What's your first priority when you get there?
Cleaning.
I wanna, no, not cleaning. I wanna go through it and like dance on the music of like Murder on the Dance Floor.
Once there's no more bad feces like everywhere around the chateau.
Sure.
So cleaning.
Hi, I'm Damien.
Hi, I'm Tom. Oh no, not camera. Sorry, let's do it again.
Oh yeah. Hi, I'm Damien.
And hi, I'm Tom.
We met at a friend's place when we were 20, so almost 15 years ago.
I had studied abroad in England, so no one really knew me in Montreal. We came back from tennis. Damien was already there having a drink.
And then I'm like, who is this guy? I've never seen him before.
And I had a British accent back then, because
Yeah.
I learned English in England first. So he was like, who is this exotic Brit? Turns out,
Purebred Quebecer.
very Quebecer.
Yeah. Well, first I thought you were straight
Yeah.
because he didn't dress well, so I was like, he cannot be gay. And I'm like, I'm gonna make him look like this. This took 15 years and he dresses by himself now.
Great. This is what I'm the most excited about. I bought working pants. They're doubled around the knees.
Are they fashionable?
I don't know. We're about to find out.
I have a feeling they won't be.
They won't be nice?
They won't be fashionable. Okay.
Oh, it's perfect. Fits
Great.
perfectly. Look, there's pockets and it's doubled around the knees. So you can really... That's exciting. And I got one for Damien. I'm the type A airport dad planner. I work in insurance government. I am working in the safest environment that I can get.
He always overthinks it, so, you know, things don't fall through the crack. They would totally fall through the crack with me only, so I have to help him a little bit because sometimes he takes on too much.
I'll plan everything. I'll book the tickets. Damien just has to confirm that he is
Available.
available.
I usually don't even know where I'm going.
He sat and flew to Australia, no clue what we were about to do.
Yeah, it's like a full inclusive.
Where you're moving next.
That's one thing I know. Yes.
Italy,
It's like
Spain.
in Europe
Yeah.
somewhere. This is James, our big fluffy kitty. He's a Maine Coon, 10 years old.
and he's not chubby, he's fluffy.
He's just a long cat.
He doesn't know that yet, but his next chapter in his life is going to be a
castle cat.
rural France cat, yeah.
I was born in France. I have a lot of family there. Every year I would go back, and with my grandparents and my parents, I would go visit some castles. And I found a photo album from when I was 12 years old. I was like taking pictures of paintings. I was 12. And the craziest thing is, look at this picture I found. But it looks exactly like the castle we put an offer on. I was already obsessed with this whole enchanted life. I'm like, it's never going to be achievable. And we saw other people doing this and we're like, oh, it's possible with not a lot of money in the bank, you know, like literally finding something that's abandoned and just having the will and the desire to want to do it. The first time we went is when I found one that worked in our price point, was very similar to what we were looking for in terms of look and architecture.
I booked the plane tickets, and the next day we were leaving for France.
I can't really believe that we're going to Paris when we just booked that 3 days ago. I think he kind of hates me in a way.
Landed in France, drove to the chateau.
All right, so we're 15 minutes away from our first chateau visit. We were thinking we should have brought a little gift to the owner to sweeten the deal, but anyways, hopefully she likes us.
We get there.
The chateau's right there, babe. Oh my god.
Holy shit. It's making me quite emotional, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Look at this. Wow. The agent tells us There's an offer on it already. You have 48 hours to decide if you want to make one or it's going to go to that person.
Yeah.
This is our first chateau we're visiting in person, and we're getting there and we already have like a timer starting 48 hours.
It's kind of too good. We like it a lot, so we'll see what happens, but
Like
Pressure.
so much pressure. So we ultimately made the decision this one was not quite for us.
Then the next day we're like, oh, we did a mistake. We should have taken it.
We kept watching the market until we saw one that we really, really liked.
Yeah, so there's this trend on YouTube that people go in abandoned places called urbex. So it's urban exploration. So by going to these abandoned places, filming them, taking pictures, that's how I was able to find some of those properties. So I sent this photo to my agent. I'm like, can you find the owner? And can we maybe try to buy it?
Showed up to that place, and the place is stunning, beautiful. The moat, giant stables. But I would not have taken it for free because there was so much work to be done. And we decided while we're here, we'll try to visit as many that are close to what we're looking for as we can. Damien found another one.
And it was the last one we visited.
Last day, sort of a throw-in, sure, why not, we're here. We got there, the owners opened the doors and windows for us. We walked through it and somehow we're like, yes, so much potential.
Sue?
So, it's pretty, there's potential.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential. There's a lot of work. Okay.
And listen, you gotta be a little crazy because there's bird shit all over that floor.
This mountain of poop.
The windows are broken.
No one has lived in there since 1980.
We look past the decay and see the dream waiting to return. On the wall, the original owners wrote, "Qui veut peut," which reminds us, when there's a will, there's a way.
So after that, we were like, maybe this is it. There's been a few compromises.
Damien is currently already shopping for tapestry and
Yes.
wallpaper.
I already bought stuff on auction and I'm like, this is gonna be great in the chateau I don't have yet. And Tom is like, we don't even have windows. I have been collecting frames. So I have these beautiful, beautiful French frames that are gonna be so nice in some of the bedrooms.
We need plumbing, we need electricity,
Honestly, I have so many. I have some under the bed because there's no room.
we need a roof, we need new walls fixed up. So there is a little bit of a priority differences.
Yes, very much so. He's always more tight on the bank account.
I say no immediately and then find a cheaper option. And then that's where the conversation starts.
If I have a specialty, is finding gems at really good prices.
Damien has a lot of vision and creative and it's beautiful, but we have limited resources for what we can do. It's gonna be a challenge for sure because I don't want to pay for anything and then Damien wants everything brand new.
Having like big crystal chandeliers, having a new beautiful marble fireplace.
We'll find a middle.
He knows I'm good with money. It's more about like, okay, but we need to be careful because we have this expense coming up. And I'm like, yeah, but this is gonna be really nice. So I have to just kind of sweeten it and put it between something that will make him happy, you know?
I literally need to see a finished picture of what he wants to see that it works in the space while he can walk in a space and like really see it well. So I am blindly trusting his vision and I know it's going to be really, really nice.
This is what I do for a living and I can't wait to just do that for myself in my house. Wah! Okay. So as you can see, we're mid-packing. It's already a bit of a mess here. We each have our own thing. So there's piles that are Tom's stuff. As you can see here, he's focusing on I think that's for like not to hear loud sounds. This is like when you like do plaster and stuff like that. And then he has a bunch of like machines. Like I have no idea what they're doing. There's like, yeah, he has a ton of those.
So, week one, what's the first priority for you with the chateau?
Getting the bird feces out of the chateau. Cleaning of the chateau is going to be priority number one.
Top priority, well, we talked about the pool. I know it won't be the first thing.
How do you feel every time he comes home with a new set of cutlery?
Next question.
I found some amazing antique silverware. Look at this. Excuse me. So I found this on Marketplace, and it turns out that there's initials on all of them, and it looks like a D and a T, which is insane. So I have 3 layers of this, and I can host 24 people with my cutlery. So I'm very excited about that. If I live in the countryside and I can't have a huge party with 50 people in there, what's the point, right?
There you go. I want peace and quiet.
He wants no one.
I want a drawbridge if possible. We didn't get that. So we'll have to find a balance between peace and quiet and then hosting big parties. I want to allow people to come and live this experience. And when they come and visit, to be in a little bit of our world.
Just spending time making our place beautiful and like then sharing it with the world.
Damien's mom passed away in 2018, and this was a bit of a reality check, I think, for us to realize she was 58.
I'm gonna have to find a place in our living room probably, and it's a painting I got done of my mother who passed 7 years ago, almost, and she was my princess.
Like, they were very, very close, the two of them.
She was French. We were going to France every year to see her family, and she'd be really happy I reconnect with my ancestry, with my family.
Her passing away was a bit of a wake-up call for us to stop kind of thinking that dreams are just something that is in the future, but as you get older, you realize the future is now.
She said, oh, I would have loved, to go in a convertible with you, a red convertible with you. She was just imagining our future and how I could, take her on a little ride.
Life is very short. At some point, we'll run out of runway, and you got to make some life decisions.
So I think down the road, we'll be able to buy a little red convertible, and it'll be just a little glimpse into what it could have been if she was there. And I'm going to be sharing that with her. So she's going to be part of the project from beginning to end, and she's really going to be the princess of the castle. Yeah, that's quite special to me.
There's a lot of her there. I think there's some peace for Damien to go back to France, to have her there as part of it. I think he's going to feel closer to her.
My perfect day at the chateau would be...
I think I'm dreaming of waking up.
Waking up at 9 o'clock, not at 5 a.m. every day like Tom does.
I do enjoy early mornings. I'm a very early person.
Going down for coffee.
Grabbing my cup of coffee and walking out to the chickens.
Going out and feeding the chicken.
Yes, chickens, bees, like I want my animals. I do. And enjoying this, the calm and quiet.
Hosting some friends.
Probably gonna be like just getting a list done and start working.
Going for a quick dip in the pool.
And then meet Damien, if he is working or whatever, sitting down at the end of the day, a little glass of wine and just unwinding our day and saying, okay, we're doing this again tomorrow morning.
Yeah, that sounds like a perfect day to me.
What's your biggest fear with this project?
That we ruin ourselves, and
that's just a given. That's just a given.
Well, hopefully we're gonna get some money back somehow. It is a scare that like the project doesn't work.
It's in the back of your mind.
Yeah, exactly. We're jumping into complete unknown.
There's no illusion. We know it's gonna be hard. We know that every room we're gonna think it's done in 1 week. It's gonna take 3, 4. It's gonna be chaos. It's gonna be hard. Things are not going to work out.
But I do believe in, I believe in you. I believe in the project. I really think there's a lot of people interested in what we're doing also. So that's very reassuring.
I think you got to be a little crazy to have a chateau. So you got to be able to see a leak and just laugh it off and go, all right, another thing to add to the to-do list,
Yeah.
you know?